And now, ladies and gentlemen, Canada's own and the pride of Brampton, Ontario, Etihad Arena. Give it up for Russell!
Abu Dhabi! Fuck, Habibis! Give it up for my DJ starting from scratch, the one and only. Give it up for that guy for never giving up a buffet. Give it up. I mean that respectfully. I mean, they're called skinny jeans, is all I'm saying. Good to have white people in the middle. That's nice to see. This is how you know the Arabs didn't want to sit right there. They're like, no, please, Abiyad, please, take this seat. Best seat, best seat. No, I love you. I want you to have. I want you. Please enjoy, please, please. Where are you guys from?
UK.
UK? I'm fine, thank you. But where are you from? Where are you from?
You don't like my answer. From Russia.
You're from Russia? That's okay. I'm not Ukrainian. It's fine. You can be Russian. I don't give a shit. And you're from the UK?
London.
Good. London. And you?
Dubai.
Dubai. No, that's what I thought when I looked at you. Yeah. Look like a bootleg Dubai. Maybe like the Karama version of Dubai. I don't know. And what's your name, Russian guy? Your name?
Tim.
Tim?
Timur.
Tim. Timur? Timur. Timuro.
I'm actually also from Dubai, but...
I know you all think you're from Dubai, but if you don't have an Emirati passport, you're just visiting like the rest of us. What are you doing out here, Tim? What made you invade? I mean, come here.
Here I'm laughing. Having a good time.
You're having a good time. You living out here, or you live out here?
Yeah.
Is your hearing bad? Were you on the war front and the fucking explosions got to you? Boom! Brett, I don't know what is happening. Do you know that brown kid beside you? That one there? Do you know him? Just checking. I mean, it's Dubai. Everybody owns an Indian somehow. I don't know. We all. I don't know if there was a Groupon or something, but. Well, it's nice to see white people, at least, you know. And then people in white. I don't like the term. I want to let you guys know. What's your name, English guy?
Martin.
Martin. Yes. Right. Be honest with you, Martin, you sound like a bit of a cunt. I say it with respect, mate, all right? And who's the ginger bastard with you? Hey, the big guy's like, thank God the heat's off me. It's better to get it first than the rest of them take it after, you know what I mean? Yeah.
My boss.
It's your boss? Oh, nice. Are you the boss? He's like, I don't tent anything either. Are you Arab, sir? No, what are you?
from Pakistan. I live in.
You're from Pakistan, so you're Indian. Listen, if you did some DNA tracing. Surprise! I don't like the term white people, Martin. That's what I was trying to say. I'll tell you why I don't like the term white people. Because you hear white people, you automatically assume color. And that's just not the case with white. Anybody could be physically white, really. Anybody. Like, you can go to India and go to the north, and you'll meet a guy with white skin and blue eyes. You're like, you white? He'll be like, not even a tiny bit. Like, white's more than a color, you know? Like, look at some of the Asians. Look at some of the Chinese, the Koreans, the Japanese. They're physically whiter than white people. But somehow white people got the title of white. Obviously, you know, when you look at the other Asians that they're not white, you know, for obvious reasons. Because they're good at math, you know, so. But even though white people got the title of white, like there's a lot of people that are like, look at the girl behind you. She's very light-skinned, right? You're a light-skinned lady, but I could tell that you're not white. But white people wouldn't know, you know what I mean? Are you Pakistani? I could tell right away. Like, you guys gave each other some sort of weird look, like. I don't know, some sort of weird Pakistani fucking hand code. Just. But physically, you're very fair-skinned, you know what I mean? Like, would you have known, Martin, that lady wasn't white? I mean, obviously because we're here, but if we were somewhere else, you might have thought, you know, this is what happens to like non-white people that are very light skinned. We have this identity crisis, so we'll try to pass ourselves, not me, but them. They will, I don't fucking pass off as anything, other than, you know, what you see. But you'll meet like people that are very light skinned and they'll pass themselves off as white. And the only people that believe them are white people. The rest of us can see right through them. And like, I'm like, dude, I know you're not white. How do you know I'm not white? Don't I look white? I go, you're very fair skinned, but I know you're not white. Well, how do you know I'm not white? Don't I look white? I go, you look pale. But I know you're not. How do you know I'm not white? Because your fucking name is Gurpreet. And when you're not actually white, but you're just physically white, like you're not an actual white person, your body will remind you. You know what I mean? Like you, sweetheart. You're very fair skinned, right? But I bet you your nipples are chocolatey as fuck. You know what I mean? Like just, you know what I mean? Like, show me one real quick. Just one. It's not for me. It's for science. It's for science. I don't want to see it like sexually. Just. Okay, white lady, there's a white lady. White lady, show her one of yours real quick. Just show. I want you to see what they look like when they're raw. This is, it's like uncooked. White women have nipple tartare. It's amazing, you gotta see this. It's. Okay, take me for example, right? I'm a medium brown, right? There's darker brown than me, there's lighter brown than me, right? But even though I'm medium brown, my junk, black as fuck. I don't understand. I'm showering, I'm uncomfortable, like, whose is this? Somebody just got the joke. Backstage, we're like, there might be a delay with the translation. I know the delay was gonna be fucking 2 days later. I didn't know that. I got kids. I know. You got kids, Timur? How many you got? 4. Jesus. You're just like the Russians. You won't pull out of anything. Okay, your pussy is Ukraine, okay? I will not pull out. 4. From one woman? One woman? Nice. Congrats. It's honorable, because I have 4 kids. But I only made 2 of them. I made 2, and then my wife, she has her own 2 that she made before me, because, you know, she's a whore. I'm kidding. She's here. Babe, I love you. Don't leave me. I don't know where they put my wife, but hopefully not near an exit row. I got 2 kids that I made, but like I said, Muhammad, I grew up with Jamaicans, and so I got some good habits and some bad habits. I got rhythm, but then I got bad habits, you know. So I got 2 kids from 2 different women. Thanks, Jamaicans. And both of my kids are mixed. Both of my kids are half Hispanic. I don't know if there's any Hispanic people here tonight, Spanish speaking, you know. Where are you guys from? Mexico. How the fuck did you end up here? How many walls did you want to hop? Jesus Christ, I mean. Mira, we'll hop a wall, and then we'll end up with Walid. Are you from Mexico? Huevo? Your huevos are from Mexico? Congrats on your huevos. Yeah, I got 2 half Hispanic kids. But when you have mixed kids, I want you to know something. Was your wife Russian? No, what is she? Ukraine. That's basically. So I really wasn't wrong from the beginning at all, was I? Baby, this move is called Chicken Kiev. That's not really, I mean, to you it's mixed, but not, you know, really. Here's the thing. When you have mixed kids, you'll know this to be true. Oh, there's a couple right there. I could see that. That's clearly not the same 2 people. Where are you from, sir?
South Africa.
South African. You're Filipina? What are you? Chinese. Oh, wow, look at that. Who would have thought? And what's your name, sweetheart?
Christine.
Christine? Oh, for sure, yeah. No, I looked at you, I was like, that's fucking Christine for sure. Where are your parents from, Christine? Hong Kong. Oh yeah, it's a very popular name. Christine. Do you have a Chinese name as well, Christine? What is it?
Mo Fin.
What is it?
Mo Fin.
Mo Fin? Isn't that what they give you when you're in the hospital? We have to give you morphine. She's in so much pain. She needs morphine. And what's your family name? Wong. So you're Wong Morphine. We gave the Wong morphine. Wow. That's a lawsuit. Is that your husband, the South African guy? Well, you guys can't stop colonizing either. Jesus Christ. Do you guys have babies? One? How old?
8.5 months.
8 now. Oh, brand new. Congratulations. What did you name? What did boy or girl? Boy. Nice. That's good. What did you name him? Did you get a South African name or a Chinese name? Callum? Callum. You gave him a fucking thick-ass Irish name. Did you give him a Chinese name too, Christine? So just basically fuck your parents' side? Is that what it was? Like, so when he gets older, people are like, Callum, why are you always squinting? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. Callum, are you high? What are you talking about? I want to see your mom. No, you can't meet her. Where's my dad? Where's my dad? Congrats on little Callum. Callum. When he gets older, you'll notice, though, depending on how you raise him, It's not even based on how you raise them, in fact. Like, I'll explain what I mean. Like, my kids are both half, they're mixed. Like my daughter, she's 13. When your kids are mixed, they can't be both. Do you know what I mean? Like my daughter's 13 now, her mother's Ecuadorian, I'm Indian, and I'm noticing my daughter at 13 is leaning towards the Indian side, right? And it's not a victory, trust me. We don't, the last thing we need is more. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know this, Christine, but in April of 2023, India passed China's population. We have finally outfucked you. It's really nothing to be proud of. The Chinese are still way more organized than the Indians will ever be. You could tell when you look at the military. The Chinese military is all. You look at the Indian military. We're never going to invade anybody. Pakistan, you're safe. We're never going to show. Come on, please. Just come home. Come home. So my daughter, 13, Ecuadorian and Indian, leaning towards the Indian side. Now my son, he's 4.5. His mother's Mexican. And I'm noticing my son at 4.5 is leaning towards the Mexican side. And that's fine with me, but I got to be honest with you, it's a lot more Mexican than I was prepared for. I didn't know you could be this Mexican at 4.5 when you're only fucking 50% Mexican. Here's how Mexican my son is. Just laugh at this punchline, because I know you're not going to get it anyway, but the rest of the world will, so fuck you and laugh, okay? Here's how Mexican my son is. I was with him the other day and I said, baby, you want to go to Chuck E. Cheese? He said, Home Depot. I said, wait, you want to go inside Home Depot? Outside. How does he know? You can't fight genetics. My son is Mexican as hell. Here's how Mexican my son is. What's your name, Mexican guys?
George.
Jorge?
Jorge.
Jorge and Javier. Jorge and Javi. Here's how Mexican my son is. Like I said, I live in Los Angeles. I have a pool in my backyard. And I have a fence around my pool. And yeah. He's halfway up the fucking thing already. I pulled him off. You know what he tried to do? Dig underneath. I go, what are you doing? My little chaporito. And then my wife is Filipina. And, which is kind of awkward walking around the UAE with an Indian husband and a Filipino wife. Everyone thinks the driver's fucking the nanny. So my wife is, she's here. Where's my wife? Where are you, babe? Where is she? She's out there, right? Is she out there? Do you know where she is? Oh, she's over there? Get a shot of her so they can see that she's a real person. Babe, where are you? Stand up, hooker. There she is. That's her. That's her. That's the one I bought. Yeah. Anyway, my wife is Filipina, and she has 2 daughters, and those are my daughters now, because their dad wasn't exactly active, so I stepped in on I mean, he was active to make them, but after that, nah, you know. But so those are my babies now. Those are my girls. I raised them. Those are, but I raised them from 28 to 31. But my stepdaughters, they're half black and half Filipina. So I got black and Filipina and Hispanic and Indian all in one house. I should be getting a tax grant for something. I don't know. The only pure breeds in my house are my dogs. Muhammad, you'll appreciate this, since you're the only closest thing to a black guy we have in here right now. I'm the first and only non-black man my wife has ever been with. So thanks. Those were some big penises to fill. Those were, the first time my wife and I did it, I was so scared I taped my balls to my dick, just so it looked like a Pepsi can coming at her, just. First time we did it, and when I tell you I fell in love, I fell in, and like a turtle on his back. We can't have stools like this in my house. My wife's like, so, baby, where did that stool go? Here it is. I'm kidding. She's tight. She's tight. How old are your kids there, Tim?
11, 6, 4, and 3 months.
11, 6, 4, and 3 months. Wow. You space them out, and then you just rush the last few out. Nice. Congrats. And where's your wife, I guess, with the 3-month-old back right now? Yeah, you're like, you have the baby, you'll stay home. Did you come with Martin? Not come with Martin, because obviously, judging by your track record, if you did come with Martin, he'd be pregnant. How old are you, Timmy?
39.
39. God damn. 39 and 4 kids. I'm 53 now. That's no, it's not. There's nothing to woo about. It's I'm getting old. How old are you? So are you old or no?
36.
36? Yeah, no, you're only 2 years older than my career. And that's not old to me. That was still the good old days for me if you're 36. You get older and young people bother you, you know? Like I used to think millennials were assholes. Because I'm Gen X. That's what I guess my title would be, Gen X. And then the millennials came along, we're like, fuck you, millennials. And the millennials like, what's your problem, dude? We're just the next generation. Why do you gotta be all old and you don't understand? And I'm like, we understand. There's gonna be somebody to come along and fuck with you. No, they won't, we're gonna be understanding. Then Gen Z showed up and millennials like, what the fuck is their problem? I'm like, it's inevitable as you get older, the next generation below you is going to annoy you. I remember when I was in my early 20s, a guy in his 50s came up to me and was like, your generation sucks, your music is trash, you haven't contributed to this world, I can't wait for life to kick you in the nuts. And I remember looking at him and thinking in my head, fuck you, you old bastard. You're just old and forgot how to enjoy life. When I get into my 50s, I'll never be like you. Ta-da! It's inevitable. You don't want to be like that, but you just can't help it, you know? You ever talk to young people and you're like, yeah, have a young person talk to you and you're like, just shut the fuck up. They always want to tell you things. Hey, did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Did you know you could shut the fuck up? Did you know that? Did you know that in the 80s, I was there? You're Googling my life. It's funny because like my generation, I'll admit this openly, that my generation is unreasonably annoyed by Gen Z. And I'll admit it to you, and I know there's some Gen Z people here. I could tell because you're all fidgeting like fucking crackheads because you don't have your phones right now. You're like... I just need one TikTok, man. Let me just check a TikTok, man. I got these cheeseburgers. That was for scratch. But everything that my generation doesn't like about you young people, that kid who answers questions and doesn't know he's answering them. What's your name, buddy?
Olive.
What?
Olive.
Khalid? Hey, Khalid. How old are you, Khalid?
18.
18, yeah, you're exactly who I'm talking about, yeah. We're gonna call you Khara Khalid. I feel bad because your mom's right there, but because every time I say something, your mom does this. Oh, yeah. This is the one time your mom was like, I wish I wore the full. I wish I wore the full. The one day I should have worn full. I bring Khara Khalid with me. Khalid, I'll tell you, my generation is mean to your generation. And I want to apologize, but I can't. But it's true, but here's the thing. Everything my generation doesn't like about your generation is actually my generation's fault. Like every single thing you guys do that we don't like, we made that happen. Like think about what our generation says about younger people. They're fucking lazy. That's our fault. Because my generation said, you know what? I'm gonna work hard so my kids don't have to work that hard. So they can enjoy life a little bit more. But now we're mad at them for it. Like, why don't you get a job? I got a job. I started a YouTube channel. I'm an influencer. What the fuck is an influencer? What do you do? I open packages, and I film it, and I tell people what's inside the package, and I give them a review of the package. It's called an unboxing. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Who watches this shit? I have 5 million subscribers. Influencer. That's a real job. We didn't have any influencers in my generation. Salah, did you know any influencers growing up? I knew one influencer. It was my dad's right hand. That was the only influencer I knew. Do the dishes. I don't want to. How about I influence you? I'll open your head up like a package. I'll tell everybody what's inside. Nothing. Unboxing. My generation boxed, this generation unboxed. Pop. Oh, look inside. It comes in great packaging. I really like it. It's a nice weight. It's got a good weight to it. But everything they do that we don't like, we did this. They're always on their cell phone. That's our fault. We made the cell phone. They don't know what life was like without the internet. That's our fault. We made the internet. They're soft. They never got beaten by their parents. We are their parents. It was our job to whoop their asses, and we failed. And I know I'm guilty of it, because before I had kids, I talked all kinds of shit. I was like, yo, you watch. When I have kids, I'm gonna fuck them up. What did I have first? A daughter. Nope, never gonna hit my daughter. 13 years old, sweetest little girl in the world. I raised my voice at my daughter. I raised my voice at my daughter once, and then I cried right after. You know the worst part was? She consoled me. She was, it's okay, Daddy, you're a nice daddy. But if you think about it, every generation's ass whoopings got less and less and less to where it's at now. I remember my dad used to tell me how much better my ass whoopings were than the ones he got while he was whooping my ass. You're lucky this is all you're getting. You know your grandfather threw a leopard at me? What? Where'd he get a leopard from? It was India, they were everywhere. I was like, Dad, I've been to India 20 times. I never saw one leopard. That's because of your grandfather. Everything that's wrong with this generation is our fault. We did this to them, but they took it to another level, you know? We kind of set it up and they just went extreme with it, you know? Like, I'm from the generation that makes fun of you. When we meet you, my generation makes fun of you, we fuck with you, and that's how we check your temperature. Like, if you can deal with my bullshit, then we can be friends. You know what I mean? But this younger generation, they do not get that at all because they're so used to being fake. Like, everything about them is fake. You don't know how to be real anymore. Not you, Khalid. Maybe you do. I don't know, Khalid. You don't. I can tell you don't because you raised your hand and put it down when I asked you, like, I didn't have hands. You know? Why not? I'm Khalid. But everything is like your generation really doesn't understand the ball breaking. That's what we call it, Khalid. We call it ball breaking. That's what guys do from my generation. We break balls, and that's how we know we're okay. In America, it's even worse. Like, I'll give you an example. I went to this store, right? I was buying a bunch of stuff, and I get to the cash to pay for it, and there's two young Gen Z fuckfaces working there, right? A guy and a girl. Maybe 20, 21 years old, right? And the guy's ringing me up, and the girl's putting it in the bag. And some guy walks in to the store, and the guy ringing me up looks over and goes, oh my God, I haven't worked with him in a while. And then the girl goes, oh my God, Enos. And I go, what? She goes, that's his name, Enos. And I go, what's his sister's name? Agina? And I started laughing, right? Because it's fucking funny. That's why I started laughing. But apparently I laughed like a psychopath. I was like, thinking that these kids are gonna go, that's pretty funny too, but she went, he's really nice, you know. I never said he wasn't nice. I just said his name's Enos, so you know it's kind of funny, right? And I'm looking at the guy, thinking the guy is gonna, you know, be like, oh yeah, come on, it's funny, you know, like thinking he's gonna go with guy code. This little fucking nerd just looks at me and goes, you know, he was bullied a lot because of his name. I go, yeah. He should have been. His name is fucking Enos. You can't just go naming your kid Enos and think everything's gonna be okay. There's no winning with this name. You're either penis or anus. There's nothing good. These kids just turn on me. Here's your stuff, sir. Thank you very much. Bye. I don't want to be the person, the old guy that gets annoyed by young people, but you just do it. They're doing things to us, you know? And at 53, you got to understand, I'm closer to dementia than I am to anything else, you know? And the way this generation's behaving, I'm going to think I have dementia well before I have dementia. They're trying to get rid of words. This dude comes up and goes, hey man, can't say the R word. I said, I was in Japan, neither can they. I go, what R word, by the way? Russell? He goes, no, retard. I go, who you calling a retard? No, you can't say retard anymore. I go, I just did. I got bad news for you, buddy. I say retard all the time. I say retard, I say retarded, I say fucking retardation, I say it all. And I feel nothing. Well, you're gonna have to stop. I'm not gonna stop saying retard until you get the French to stop saying it. I was at the airport in Canada and my flight was delayed. And in English it said delayed, and in French it said en retard. And I laughed like a little schoolgirl. I couldn't wait to call my friend, yo, you're gonna have to pick me up later, my flight's retarded. Shit, in the UAE I bought ibuprofen that said Brufen retard. It's literally in every drugstore. I bought it just to take home with me. Anything to declare? Just this retard pills. So yeah, I'm not gonna stop saying retard. Well, you're gonna have to. I said, why? Why do I have to stop saying retard? Because it's offensive. I was like, to who? You're the one calling people this, not me. I'm calling everything but a handicapped person a retard. You call a handicapped person a retard, you're a piece of shit. And you can't say gay anymore. What? I have gay friends. I can't be like, yo, these are my gay friends. You can refer to gay people as gay, but you can't just go arbitrarily calling things gay anymore. This is fucking retarded, dude. This is the gayest thing I've ever heard in my life. What are you? So wait, I can't say gay or retard anymore? No. How am I supposed to talk to my brother? Every conversation is like, call me back, you retard, don't be gay, click. You gotta understand, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Gay and retard is all we said. Gay was the best insult you could give a guy. Because it wasn't really offensive, it was more of a, you got me, just, you would never call somebody gay if they were actually gay. But in the 70s, we didn't realize gay was a real thing. Like in the 70s, like, nobody's really gay, are they? I mean, we just didn't know it was like a genetic, we didn't know it was genetic. We just thought, he's gay, he's not gay. I mean, who's really gay? Like, if you like, buttholes, women have them too, you know what I mean? Like, just, we didn't know it was more than that, And you would call somebody gay for doing the most heterosexual thing possible. Like you, Tim, you have 4 kids with your wife. Gay. You know what I mean? Like that's, because it's the least gay thing you could do. We were in denial in the 70s. Khaled, if you want to have a good time, you go to YouTube and you type in the best of the 1970s, and you'll see right in front of you that the 70s was the gayest decade ever. It was so, and we had no clue it was gay because we were in denial about it. I don't know if you guys remember the Village People. Remember the Village People? They were like the gayest group on the planet, and we had no clue they were gay. Like, they're not gay. That guy's a construction worker. That guy's a biker. That guy's Native American. They don't make gay Native Americans. They're singing about being a macho man. That's the least gay man you can be. We didn't know what gay was. I remember in 1984, I'm in the mall. I'm 14 years old. One of my friends runs up to me and goes, yo, come to the supermarket. There's 2 lesbians. And I ran. Because I'm 14 and I heard lesbians. What do I know about lesbians at 14? Nothing. All I know is blah, 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 blah. That's all I know. That's it. That's all. Blah, 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 blah. That's it. That's all I know. And I'm like, oh my God, they must be doing it in every aisle. So I run to the supermarket. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like they're just, hey, let's go to the mall and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm thinking. I get to the supermarket. I'm so mad. It was just 2 women with a shopping cart full of cucumbers. We didn't know anything in the 80s, That's why our generation's so fucked up. Like, that's why our generation is created Gen Z. We passed our fucked upness to the next generations. We skipped the millennials because that was a whole nother generation's problem. You know what it is? Like my generation, growing up, everything fell into this blanket of life. Everything was called life. There was no subsections. Everything that happened to you was life. You lost your job, that's life. My house burnt down, man, that's life. My wife left me, that's life, bro. Everything was life. There was nothing to define it other than life. Then Gen Z came along and wanted to label everything. Every fucking thing had a label. Everything needed a label. And they OD'd on the label. Like I have and always had ADD. I know I do. But in the 80s, there was no diagnosis for the ADD. I remember in 1985, I went to the guidance counselor. I was 15, I go, what do you think's wrong with me? He goes, you're a fucking idiot. And I went, is that like a professional? He goes, no, you're a fucking idiot. And I remember going, that sounds about fair, I think, yeah. I remember going home, my dad goes, what did the guidance counselor say? I said I was a fucking idiot. He's right. Like everything that we're complaining about with Gen Z is our fault too. Like we complain that they're sensitive, you know, everything bothers them. What's their problem? Why are they so sensitive? How come they get so offended by everything? Every interview I do is like, Russell, you worried about cancel culture? I'm like, no, why not? Because these kids aren't looking at me, except for Khalakara over there, just. But they get offended easy, and that's my generation's fault too, and I'll tell you why it's our fault, because my generation started political correctness. But here's what young people don't understand. We started political correctness out of necessity. We didn't do it because we were bored. We did it because our parents' generation was insane. You gotta understand, my father, he was born in 1925. Yeah, my dad, and my dad was, here's the thing. My dad was born in India while it was still under British rule. My dad said racist shit all day long. He had no clue that it was racist. I go, Dad, you say a lot of racist. How can it be racist? I learned English from the British. They are the least racist people. We started political correctness because our parents' generation didn't know when not to say something. It was a Chinese family 3 houses down from me. My dad used to refer to them as the Oriental family. I'm like, Dad, they're not rugs. From the age of 4 or 5 years old to now, 53, 97% of my friends are black, which is great, but it was a little awkward in my teenage years because my dad used to use out-of-date terminology. I remember being like 15, 16 years old, my friends would knock on the door. Hi, Mr. Peters, is Russell here? One sec. Please do me a favor, go this side. Just stay away from the car. Son, there's a young Negro boy here looking for you. I come down, my dad's pointing at him. I go, Dad, why are you pointing at him? So you know where he is. There's only one person standing there. No, the Oriental boy is in the back. Look, see? He's playing Chinese checkers or something. I don't know what he's doing. And I go to my dad, and this is what was frustrating about my parents' generation. They would defend everything they said, and their defense would make sense. I go, Dad, why did you call him a young Negro boy? What part of that description is not correct? Is he an old white woman? No. So we started political correctness to stop that kind of stuff from going forward. We weren't trying to change the world. We were just trying to make little differences so that there would be less speed bumps for the next generations. We meant well. We were naive. And then these Gen Z fuckfaces showed up. And they took advantage of us. And they were like, hey, you know that politically correct thing you guys are doing? I'm like, yeah? We'd like to add some things to it. Like, oh, sure, we must have missed something. Well, yeah, what would you like to add? You know how I was born a male? Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware of that, yeah. I don't feel comfortable identifying as a male anymore. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you'd be more comfortable identifying as a female. No? Those were the only options. I just feel like these are social constructs that are designed to keep us apart from each other. When we are neither black nor white, not male nor female, we're simply just one people, one race, the human race. And I'm like, listen here, other fucker. I got real life adult problems going on in my world. I don't need your young, confused, bored bullshit to get in my way. Now, I want you to be whatever the fuck you want to be. And I want you to be the best version of it you can be. And I'll support whatever it is you tell me you think you are. But you can't get mad at me if I don't know what you think you are when I look at you. If I see what I think is a dude, I'm like, hey man, I'm not a man. I identify as a table. How am I supposed to know you're a table? You only got 2 legs. You're a shitty table. I hear a lot of young people talk about suffering from anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. Oh my God, I'm suffering. I see you young girls, you suffer from anxiety, don't you? Do you get anxiety? I know Khaled, do you get anxiety? No, you sure, buddy? You're giving your mom anxiety right now, I'll be honest with you. Young people, like, God, I suffer from anxiety. Look at me suffer. Fucking anxiety. How do you get anxiety in your 20s? You got tax problems, you got baby mamas, you don't have any fucking anxiety. Young people have no clue what anxiety is. I know what anxiety is because I dealt with it without even knowing I was dealing with it. My generation knows anxiety. Let me tell you what real anxiety is. Let me tell you what real anxiety is. Anxiety, this is what we had to deal with. Anxiety was trying to masturbate to porn in the 80s. That's anxiety. Because it's not like now where it's just everywhere. Anybody in this room, don't do it, but anybody in this room, for no reason, can pull out their phone and look at porn. Just like that, just porn, and then put it away. And I know what you're thinking, oh, not over here. Yeah, everybody has a VPN, you fuckers. I know what you do. I'm surprised ExpressVPN hasn't opened up an office here. But porn is just there. It's readily available. It's just there. Like back in the 80s, it was not that easy. It was a different time. If you wanted to see porn in the 80s, you actually had to be a real pervert. Because you had to make a plan, a mental plan. Not now, you're like, I don't know, I think I might get a boner. Back then you would plan it. All right. Tonight, I'm gonna watch some porn. I know what you're thinking. Why couldn't you just watch it any time? Because in the 80s, you only had one TV and one VCR in the house. And it was in the living room downstairs. You couldn't just show up at 5:30 in the evening. Hey, Mom, Dad, you gonna watch the news or can I find out what Debbie's gonna do to Dallas? You had to make the plan. And here's what happened. You would go to bed and you would lay awake in your own bed till like 2 in the morning. Wide awake, just. You'd wait for everybody to go to sleep. That's how demented we were. You'd wait, then you'd hear everybody snoring. You're like, now. And you'd reach beside the bed where you had the videotape, because you stashed it. And you sneak out of your room. You're sneaking around your own house like a perverted burglar. with an erection. It's no good. Just... And you have these missions in front of you. It's not as simple as just going downstairs, putting on the tape, and bam, you're good to go. Oh, no, no, no. That would be too easy. First, you got to sneak downstairs. First, you got to wait. Then you got to grab the tape. Now you got to sneak downstairs. But you can't walk down the center of the stairs in case the stairs go. So you got to walk down the side of the stairs. And now, okay, now you get downstairs. Mission 1 complete. You got mission 2 in front of you. This is a big one. You're staring at a TV that's not even turned on yet. You're staring at it like Indiana Jones. You got this, you're like sweating. You're like, okay. Because what you got to do is you got to turn the TV on. This is the 80s. You have to pull the knob on the TV. But at the same time that you pull the knob, you have to turn the volume off. So you're, woo. Did you know my generation didn't even know that porno had audio? We had no clue. Because you couldn't keep the volume on. You're the only thing awake at this time of night. You gotta understand, my dad didn't just grow up in India. My dad grew up in the jungle in India. My dad had jungle ears. He could hear shit we couldn't hear. Even if I put the volume on, could you imagine my dad sleeping and he just hears, oh. What's that? Who's that? Looks at my mom. That's not you. That's not me. It's downstairs. There's a leopard. So now you got the TV on, volume off. I know what you're thinking, Khaled, porno time. No, not even close. Now you got the third mission. You got to get the videotape into the VCR. Now here's what you need to understand, Khaled. Loading a VCR, putting a videotape in a VCR in a quiet house is easily one of the loudest things you can do. You might as well just turn a blender on, just ring. So what you got to do is you put the videotape to the mouth of the VCR, then you grab a pillow off the couch. And you push the tape in with the pillow, because you need to smother the sound. You're like, shut the fuck up. And I know what you're thinking, let the porn begin. No, Khaled, no. The movie doesn't just start like that. There's a test pattern that comes on the screen. And then the ever boner-killing FBI warning. Now you're paranoid. Who's watching me? And you don't even know about tracking. To you, tracking is you say Nike, and all the ads in your Instagram come up as Nike. Back in the day, tracking was the tape would start, and there'd be these lines across the screen. And just the titty would be shaking, like this. You're not even sure if it's a tit. Like, is that a nipple or a hubcap? I can't tell. Is it a car or a boob? I don't know. Fuck it, I'll take it. You don't know, you just don't know. So now you got this shaking boob on your screen like this, and unless you're into Parkinson's porn, this is not gonna work for you. So now you got to walk over to the VCR, and there's a button called tracking that you have to hit plus or minus or wheel, whatever you had, until you got a steady tit, bam, now you're good to go. You live in a very different time. Like, you can go to Pornhub 100,000 different times. And in 100,000 different times of going to Pornhub, you may never repeat the same scene. That's how much porn there is now. Back in the day, we looked at the same tape for 4 years. had to act like it was new every time. You'd put it on, you'd be like, hello, Ginger Lynn. I haven't seen you in a while. We had to improvise. Pornhub ruined everything for me. Let me tell you what Pornhub is. Here's what the problem with Pornhub is. Pornhub took away all the mystery from porn. I know some of you are a little uncomfortable right now just hearing porn, but it's not going to get graphic. Don't worry. I know in your head you're going, this is haram. I don't want to hear it. It's just the words. It's nothing graphic here. I want the women to stay with us on this one, all right? But porn, here's what Pornhub is. Like, back in the 70s and 80s, porn movies had titles. And the titles were very subtle. You wouldn't even know it was a porn. That's how, like, here's a real porno title from the 70s, Behind the Green Door. You go, well, what's behind the green door? I don't know, we better find out. Porno movies had titles. They were shot on film. You know where you had to go to see a porno movie, Khalid, back in the 70s? A movie theater. I wish there were some babas in here who could tell us that they went. I know if I was old enough in the 70s, hell yeah, I would have gone to a porno movie theater. Would I have gotten popcorn? Probably not. That's a commitment right there. This is salty. I don't know what's wrong with this popcorn. It's butter sticky. But porno movies just have titles, original titles. 70s and 80s, original titles. 90s, you know what they did in the 90s? They got lazy in the 90s with porn. They started taking real movie titles and turning them into porno titles. So it'd be like Men in Black Women, Forrest Hump, Poke a Hot Ass, Schindler's Fist, Shaving Ryan's Privates, you know, all the classics, you know. And then along came Pornhub and just ruined everything. Pornhub took the mystery out of porn. That's why I don't like Pornhub. Because just like there's no titles anymore, there's no movies, there's just scenes. And there's no titles, there's just explicit descriptions of what you're about to see. Pornhub titles remind me of white people's food. Let me explain. Let's take Indian food, for example, right? So to make Indian food, you need a whole lot of different ingredients. And because we use so many different ingredients, we have to name the dishes. Like, what is that? It's biryani. What is that? It's Rogan Josh. What is that? It's chicken tikka masala. We give it names because of all the ingredients. White people, I'm not here to judge you, but you're very limited with your ingredients. To the point where you literally name your food after the ingredients. What is that? It's lemon pepper chicken. What's in it? Lemon, pepper, and you guessed it, chicken. Ooh, what's that? Macaroni and cheese. What's in it? Macaroni and cheese. Ooh, what's that? Fish and chips. What's in it? Well, what the fuck do you think is in it? That's what Pornhub titles are like. There's no mystery anymore. You go to Pornhub, it's just like hot Asian girl getting destroyed by BBC. And you're like, God damn. And my mom walks in, oh, the BBC, I love the BBC. I go, no, no, no. This is not the BBC you're thinking of. Keep it on, I want to see the weather. That's not precipitation. They don't know the struggle. Khalid, you don't know what the struggle was like in the 80s. In the 80s, we had to improvise. We would try anything. These catalogs would come from department stores. They'd get mailed to your house. Especially in North America, there was a store called Sears. They would mail you a Sears catalog. And the catalog, this is all before the internet, Khalid. The catalog would have all the inventory from the store in this one book. And they'd send it out every season. And you'd open the book and you'd find what you wanted. You'd make a little mark and you'd be like, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get this, right? But if you were a perverted teenager like I was in the 80s, you would go to the women's underwear department in the book. Because it was the 80s, there was no Photoshop. So you'd go to the women's bra department, and you'd look. If it was a lace bra, you might see a nipple in the back, and then, right? So, or if you were a real perv like me, you'd go to the panties, and you'd look, and there'd be like little hairs creeping out the side, like. But it was the 80s, so you gotta understand, like, the women were natural back then. They had big. It was like your hair, ma'am. You got a shot of that? Right, there we go. Yeah, that right there. Yeah. It's like trying to put a mask on your head. You know what I mean? Just. Khaled, Shufi Habibi, listen. But that's what it was like in the 80s. Women had a big old bush. Then the 90s, they streamlined it. They made a little landing strip. 2000s, they went bald. 2023, dick. Thank you very much. You guys are great.